The 31st of July. I just came across that forest work road right there, Forest Service Road or a fire road, and had to fill up me water. I was running low. I'm gonna need it. There's some more water sources though along the roller coaster, but this is the roller coaster. But here's a little paradise. Beautiful campsite right here. I mean, there's a couple of places that you could put tents. Most of it is you'll be leaning or rolling down the floor of your tent or sleeping on an angle up and down. But beautiful place for hammocks. Oh my God, look at all the places for hammocks. And it goes slightly over that hill too. This is at the bottom of the gap. Now, gotta start climbing again. The roller coasters, and it looks to be pretty much rocky terrain. The last two hills I climbed, going up and pretty much down, was all rocky. So it's a little slower going. But this is what it looks like at the bottom of the hill. Got a nice creek right here. So this is probably gonna supply the water on the other uh, watermarks on my far out app. I have to look at it closely to see if it's winding like that, but I believe it is. Oh yeah, there's some good tent sites. It goes way over to there, that big tree that you see standing in the sunlight. Maybe a little beyond, but yeah, this is a beautiful place. Awesome. Pretty safe too. We don't see any widowmakers. But time to throw in the pack and take off. I think I got like 5 or 6 of these to climb. They're not very high. Some of them can be steep, but it's the rocks that you got to navigate through. Scree fields, stuff like that. But here I am. I'm going to continue. There's a nice little temporary shelter. Get out from under a downpour. You can even camp there and have a fire. That's cool. Morning, August 1st, 2023. I'm up here on this ridge. I just come from the Blackburn PATC. It's a Appalachian Trail Club, Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. And down below, just down below that ridge, or that ledge, is a massive campground that, you know, when you happen to be coming through here, it's getting late, or you want to quit early, go down there. They have rings, they can have campfires, tent places, hammock places, picnic tables, and log seating. So it's a massive campground. It must go for 100 yards. And I stayed at the cabin. I had the whole place to myself. It's a private residence, but they set up a solar shower, and they have water, and tent pads, places to throw your hammock, but you know, they don't have it purposely laid out for hammocks. But you could throw a hammock there. But yeah, tent pads, privies, and you can sit inside and congregate, eat, and socialize inside the main house, which is the private residence. The people who own it are not there all the time. Must be you know, traveling a lot, whatever. But they opened up their home, joined the PATC, and they have caretakers there. And they're absolutely wonderful. I didn't know they were there. I come down because my idea, or my plan is to do 18 miles today, or yesterday, and then find a place to pitch a hammock somewhere, or find a stealth site. But that didn't work out because I was on the roller coasters. And the roller coaster is 14 miles of up and downhill. Constantly up and down. I mean, there's a couple of places where it's flat on top, gives you time to catch your breath. It not so bad catching your breath, but relief from watching where you place your feet on every step. You slow way down because the trail is full of rocks, boulders, rocks, scree, and it's just tedious getting through it because you got to watch where you put your foot in every place. It'd be kind of easy if you didn't watch your step, or didn't pay attention. You could easily twist an ankle or sprain it, or at the worst break your leg or arm. It was interesting to see. It was a lot of fun to see the geology of it and everything, but it slowed you down so much, especially when you're going uphill. You're working hard to go uphill, and you got to place your feet. And then going downhill is probably a little worse. One, you have gravity working against you. And two, some of those hills, or some of those descents and ascents, are very steep. So you had to watch to keep your feet from sliding underneath you when you just had regular stone on the path, on the trail. But now it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I just climbed out of Blackburn PATC Center. I had the whole place to myself, like I said. So I bunked in the cabin. Got a great night's sleep. Before that, I made a nice meal last night and this morning. Cooked it on the picnic table. Pigged out. Packed everything away. All my banks are charged, and I'm on my way to Harpers Ferry. And I'll make this into add this to one or two videos I have worth editing from last place to here. And this is a historical place. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to wander around downtown and that, check it out and stuff. But the trail is a little bit easier. There's going to be some rocky places because it's the Appalachian Trail. It's nothing but rock. It's a gigantic rock garden. But it is beautiful up here. I'm right on top of a ridge. You can see no brush or anything under the trees for a long way. This is like one of the rare parts of the trail. You do hit them once in a while where you can actually see more than 20 feet ahead of you. Normally, you can't see more than 15 or 20 feet ahead of you on the trail. So, when you're going to walk into a bear, that's probably when you're going to do it. Because you're going to be on top of them before you see them. And just because the trail is easier now, it doesn't mean you have to take your eyes off of it. I haven't seen one yet. The only poisonous snake I've seen is I seen a couple water moccasins, copperheads or cottonmouths, whatever you want to call them. It's the same snake. But I haven't seen a timber rattler yet. I see all sorts of king, racers, pine, ringnecks, garters, ribbons. I see all of them, but I haven't yet to see a rattler. So I'm gonna get my mode, seeing that the trail is easier, and beat to Harpers Ferry. Heading into the sunrise. And I'll see you all there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one more thing. While we're following this beautiful trail descending down to a gap, but this will give you an idea of something I had to go through. But I have pictures of what I had to go through to get to here. It was 14 miles of up and down and rock. A 14-mile gigantic rock garden. It was pretty awesome. Tiring though, but tedious. So it slowed you way down. But I reached the 1,000-mile marker. So I'm 1,000 miles into it, a little more now. By the time I get to Harpers Ferry, it'll be, I think, pretty close to 1,030. And for the last 10 miles, I've been in and out of West Virginia and Virginia. I crossed the state line. But they did have a sign on one of the blazes that you see there in the distance. They had a sign above it, West Virginia, Virginia state line. And according to the caretaker, as long as I'm on this trail, I'm in West Virginia. When I went down to the Blackburn Hiker Center, I was in Virginia. So it was kind of cool. That's one more state I can mark off, is Virginia and West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. 5 down, 9 to go. So, onward. But this is, I have to say, is one of the prettiest forests I've seen. And you can see a long way. You can see somebody coming a couple hundred yards, where on the Appalachian, or most parts of the Appalachian, you almost run into the person. Unless you hear them talking, then you know there's somebody coming at you or coming from behind you. Other than that, you can't see them until you're right on top of them, until you meet each other. Like I said, you can only see 15, 20, maybe a good day, 50 feet ahead of you. And other than that, you can't see nothing. It's just thick brush. Thick brush. Now, I'm hoping to see, I like to see a rattler. I seen a bear. Told you all about that, but I want to see a rattler. A timber rattler. They're really pretty looking. And they had that black rattle. It's almost all jet black. So, onward to Harpers Ferry. I'll see y'all there when I make videos. Hope you enjoy. I guess it gets kind of wet down here. Maybe after heavy rains, you pretty much have a lake. So I notice in these gaps and low places, they have lots of boardwalks. And this one is getting hard to see right now. But I noticed that. So this place must get pretty wet, where you're basically walking in a lake, and with this overgrown stuff, you'd be tripping all over the place on these rocks too. So here I go back up. This is a mild version of what the trail looks like in the roller coasters. But still the same. You still have to watch your step, where you put your feet, and lift your feet high enough so you don't trip on the rocks. And for the last, let's see, for the last week and a half, I've been pretty much alone. A big part of my crew, trail family, tramley, whatever you want to call them, got knocked down with norovirus. A couple of people stayed behind and made sure they had water and food and everything really accessible to them. Fill up their water bottles, because you got to drink. Really, the only way to get rid of it is let it run its course. And one went home. Another one took about a week off, him and his girlfriend. They had it. It struck them about a week, or about 3 or 4 days. I think 4 days they took off, just zeroed. And then I ran into another group of people that I hiked with for a couple of days. And I ran into one of their crew members at the same motel I was at, because he might have broken his foot. And he was supposed to have an MRI done the day I was supposed to leave, so I don't know what the determination was there. But he was bent on still hiking the trail, even if he had to wear a cast. I guess it gets into your blood so much, you basically have to be in a full body cast to prevent you from hiking this thing, because you wreck your body so many times, or you can wreck your body if you ain't careful and pick your way through some of the scree fields and boulder fields. So, and then some of my traveling is like 2 or 3 days ahead. I'm hoping there's some halfway decent trail before I hit the rocks in Pennsylvania. I can catch up to them. Twinkle Toes and Caveman and Twerk and Slinky and a Canadian couple. I don't think they had any trail names yet. And Swiper and them. So I'm looking forward to catching up to them. I should be able to. They texted me and said they're about 3 days ahead. If they were going to zero in, I think, Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So I still might catch up to them. But I'm enjoying this trail. I'm loving these open woods in that. It's almost like a movie set. The Fellowship, or that movie Willow, where they gotta go through Fantasyland forests and stuff and confront demons and that, and witches and monsters. But this is what the trail looks like so far. Getting easier, getting so I can go faster. And as it gets towards town, it'll widen and get smoother to lure the day hikers, and then they'll hike on it for a day or two, or a weekend, or a week, you know, get into their blood, and I gotta do this, I gotta hike the whole trail. So they make plans and do it. It just seems to get into your blood. It's like it's a whole different culture here. They have their own language, everything. So we'll see you at the trail. We'll see you at Harpers Ferry.